So he's in agony. So as his father, I come running over to him. And as I go down to see what happened, because he's wearing pants, I don't know what happened to his knee, he looks up at me and goes, "Go away, go away, go away." I said, "No, I want to help you." He goes, "Go away, go, no, I'm fine, go away, go away." And I'm like, "No, Daddy, it's okay." And he goes, "Go away from me, I don't want, no, I'm fine, go away from me." I'm like, no, I got it. This isn't the I told you part. I'm going to have that later in the house. We'll have the I told you part. I promise you, there'll be plenty of I told you moments. This is the daddy wants to help you part. But he's 7, and he still listens to daddy, and he got tagged for it. So you know what a 7-year-old does when doesn't the daddy get tagged for it? He doesn't see daddy as trying to help him. Go away. Go away from me. You know how we have no mercy on ourselves? Because we are so good with the God as the king part. We relate to God in 2 ways, Avinu, Malkeinu. And we are so good at Malkeinu. I mean, God being our king makes so much sense to us. We show up in Rosh Hashanah, and he sits at the throne of justice, and we stand as his little pews sitting around, and we're sitting around, and the big God and the small me, and I know who I am, and he knows who I am, and I'm sitting around, and it makes so much sense to us that we walk online, and he judges us, and we hope we get into the good book, and we're not worthy. We are so good at the king. But you know what we're really not that good at? That before the king, there's the word Avinu, and Avinu means he's my dad. And on Yom Kippur, we're sitting there and we're holding on to our legs. You see, when you start to become merciful on yourself, you start to open up. It's okay. You start to go back. You start to realize that I wasn't wrong. And you start to really go back to all the stuff you did, and you're really sincerely sorry for it. You start to pull off the layers and pull off the layers, and you get to go back there because you couldn't deal with it because there was so much insecurity around you. Once you start blaming yourself, you get to the core and go, I should have been more, I made a mistake. And we're sitting on Yom Kippur for doing it right, and we're holding our knee. And God comes down, and we don't appreciate that on Yom Kippur, the king comes off his throne, and he unzips his robe. He leaves it. And he comes down on a knee. And he goes, let me see it. And we go, no. Let me get through this. I'm almost done. Let me get through this. I'm almost done. He goes, no, before you leave. I just want to see if you're bleeding. I should fix it. I want to fix it. And it is so hard for us to think that the creator of humanity is actually wants to just fix it. He's my dad. I'll tell you a funny story. As kids, as parents, we do all the time, we claim body parts. You ever do this with kids? You bring the kids in the hospital and you claim body parts. Kid looks like an alien. They all look the same. Don't be there at 5. If you didn't have a little thing on your ankles, you bring the wrong one home. Right? You bring them in the house, as they walk in, your aunt walks in and goes, oh my gosh, do you see those cheeks? Those are your great aunt cheeks. I don't care what the left leg is your bubby from Yenemsveld. And I'm telling you, that was her left leg. You see pictures of her in the war, and boom, that left leg. I'm just telling you, I know this is what I want to say today, so let me tell you something. You know what I'm talking about? I'll tell you a funny story. I said half my family comes from Europe. Eastern, my grandfather comes from Munkach. So he survived the war terribly. And he had a daughter. And it was like huge for him to have a kid. And she had a son, me, a grandson. I had a son. So now he's experiencing the birth of a great-grandchild in his lifetime. So I gave birth at North Shore OIJ in Long Island. And I don't know how it works here, but back there, when you give birth, they put your kid basically behind the Pentagon. You can't see them. Like you need like an eye scan, and for bracelets, and little security clearances, and I have like a badge. So my grandfather walks, I'll never forget, my grandfather walks in. He walks right up to the nurse, he goes, I want to see my grandchild. And I go, well, sir, you gotta check it at the desk. And he goes, I survived the Holocaust. And she's like, okay, here you go, son of Robert. I'm like, how'd you do that? He comes right at the wall, at the window, the window, you see the babies? He goes, Charlie, come here. I said, yes, Zadie? He goes, you see that boy? I said, yeah, I see him. He goes, you see that nose? I said, I do happen to see his nose. He goes, that's a Munkacher nose. I said, yeah. He goes, you think you know. The problem is if you think you know, you don't know. You know why? Because you don't know Munkach. I've been to Munkach. And you also don't know noses. I'm a little older. I know noses and I know Munkachi. That's a Munkachi nose. So I'm so happy my son is a Munkachi nose. The nurse goes, bang, bang, can I help you? I said, Harari. She goes, Harari's on the other side. Why do we do it for? You know why? Because no matter what, we want to feel connected to the next generation. Family means, I don't care who you are, we're the same. Yom Kippur is the one time a year where we stand before our Father and we grapple with the number one issue, that we are not separate from Him. He is not on a throne somewhere. He is not off in the middle of Nowheresville, and I am in my life, and He is in His life, and I show up to get stuff from Him. And I'm here so He gives me health, happiness, and some money, and extra money wouldn't kill you, and okay, and I'm good, I get my stuff, I go home. There's one day a year where if we're doing it right, all we are doing is standing and saying, I got the Munkachi nose. You're in here. You're in here. That you're with me. Tomorrow is I told you so. Today, God says, it's just for you. To delve, to deepen, to go back, and to realize that whatever it is that I'm sorry you get. And that's Yom Kippur. You know, Yom Kippur is pretty simple. We do two things. We say sorry, and then God gives us a couple of weird stuff to not do. You ever notice why? It's because our life is filled with certain distractions. We're all distracted by desire, right? Desire everywhere. Every billboard, every ad, desire, desire, desire. God says one day, no sexuality, just off the table. And for those, if desire, you know what comes next? Comfort. For most people, not everybody, life is a question of level of comfort. We are safe, thank God, and we have a shelter and food, and now it's how big, how comfortable, how fast, how quick, how comfortable, how comfortable. The symbol of comfort is shoes. That is the thing back when, my grandfather told me, I don't see this anymore today, but back in the old days when you went to buy shoes, you asked, is it comfortable? God says, you know what, one day, don't worry about it. And then, it's how we look, right? How's it look? How's it going to look? How's it going to look? Where are you going? How's it look? What do you do? Oh, what do you do? Oh, how's it going to look? Where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? That's your house. That's your car. Oh, my God. Oh, we're going to do this, but how's it going to look? What is he? What do you, how's it going to look? What is it? How do you think it's going to look if we do this? How do you think it's going to look if he does that? How do you think we live with how's it going to look? And God goes, you know what? No cosmetics. You know, one day, I like how you look. I made you. You look beautiful, really. Just the way you are. And then, am I going to make it? Is it going to work out? Am I going to make it? Is it going to work out? And God goes, no, what? Food and drink, just pull it off the table. Here's what I want today. Just me and you. Forget it all. How you look, how you comfort, desires, survival. Me and my kids. One day. Just Daddy. No prosecutors, no distractions. Daddy. Or Mommy, he's not a person. And there's nothing, and I mean nothing sweeter than being real. You know what I'm talking about? When you sit down with someone that knows you for a long time and you get to be real. Nothing sweeter in life than being me. Lo hayu yamim tovim. You want a holiday? You want a real holiday? There is nothing sweeter than spending 25 hours with my dad, finding myself. And if we go into Yom Kippur that way, our job, like my friend's friend who's stuck in a rut, is just to pull down the blackness that separates us Jews. We separate ourselves with nothing. We pull down the barriers to each other. We pull down the barriers to the top. We pull down the barriers from our family and friends if we spend one day being merciful to ourselves and standing before our dad. He says, I just want to clean your knee. I'll tell you, I told you so tomorrow. We have plenty of sermons. I just want to clean the knee. And my blessing to us is that we become a people that embodies that principle of be Adoni. We walk with the insignia of the king. You know what the judgment we get on Yom Kippur is called? Chasima. Seal. Insignia. Because the goal when you walk out is to come out with a drop of more pride. This is who I am. This is what I'm a part of. This is my dad. And my blessing to this community and every community is that we become those people again. We maybe do it. We become those people that know who we are, that stare at challenge, whether they come in our home or our community or globally, and we look at them the way David and Nachshon and Khalid and Yehuda did. We join together as one nation, as one humanity, and we bring the world the truth to what life really is, physical and spiritual, of being the people that are truly themselves. And Yom Kippur could be the day that gets us there.